The assassin! Da-na-na-na. So, yeah, another out-of-order episode. God dang it. This is just going to be a continuing problem, isn't it? One of the things I liked about this episode, though, is it kind of showed part of the, for lack of a better term, hardship of being a fledgling Jedi, of someone who's still learning how to teach, or still learning how to use the Force, sorry, and needing to be taught how to use that properly. There's this one bit where she's like, "Oh, I hate studying," and I found that kind of interesting because, well, in a stereotypical way, I could see that. Wouldn't you think that skill would be a necessary component of, application of Force, and therefore be something that Anakin would probably want Ahsoka to actually have? Just food for thought there. One other thing that I was thinking about is, why, how do I phrase this? I'd like to say that Yoda gave her basically no direction on purpose so that she would come to the answer herself. That is a very light side thing to do, basically trusting that the river will get where the river needs to go, right? A flow of fate or a flow of destiny or whatever you want to call that. That's very light side. But it just, in my mind, that just kind of highlights one of the flaws of the Jedi Order, that they don't actually bother to teach things. I guess the idea that is most in my mind here is how terrifying and how unusual it would be to basically be a teenager with the Force. And most specifically regarding visions, because you get visions. You don't really call upon visions, although you can. And you don't really have a lot of context for visions all the time, like the time when she basically had the vision of Zero. So, right? Don't you think that's the kind of thing that requires very careful, precise and to the student specific, I don't want to say hand-holding because that's actually not true, but a management, a teacher, a mentorship kind of a situation, so that they don't go crazy with these visions, which, as Yoda has pointed out, may or may not be true. In fact, in Star Wars history, usually, although this of course varies from work to work across the EU and the AU, usually those visions are, the more vague the vision, the more accurate the vision. But anytime you try to get nice and precise with visions, that's where things start to blur out a little bit. Palpatine, Sibioth, excuse me. Or Sibioth. I've never actually learned how to say that name. Anyways, I did actually enjoy this episode. It was just kind of a weird one, and it feels like we're going through the season of mid-quills here, right? Let's fill in all the blanks between the previous episodes and try to help explain them. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.